let me ask you something. If you live with type 2 diabetes, have you been told to stay far away from tea and coffee? Or, on the flip side, have you seen videos swearing that one magic drink will flush your diabetes away overnight? Here's the truth that sits right in the middle, and almost nobody explains it clearly. Some drinks really can send your blood sugar climbing fast, but the right drink, taken the right way, can actually help you keep it steadier through the whole day. No beverage on earth will reverse or cure type 2 diabetes. Anyone who tells you that is selling something. But choosing wisely from your kitchen is one of the simplest, cheapest changes you can make today. My name is Dr. Arthur, and I do one thing. I read the published research on nutrition and metabolic health, and I translate it into plain language for real people. No hype, no fairy tales. And the science here genuinely surprised me. Back in 2018, researchers in a trial published in the Journal of Nutrition found that a simple, unsweetened drink taken before a meal lowered blood sugar after that meal compared to plain water. A glass of the right liquid, behaving like a quiet blood sugar buffer. Imagine that. Before we go further, do me a favor. Drop your age in the comments right now. I read them, and it helps me make videos that actually fit where you are in life. Because what your body does with these drinks at 45 is not what it does at 70. Today, I'll walk you through the 5 best drinks for blood sugar, ranked from a solid, dependable option all the way up to the single most powerful approach, the strongest clinical trials point to. And that number 1, it isn't a brand, and it isn't exotic. It's a way of drinking that researchers have tested in people with diabetes and pre-diabetes, and the results are the reason you'll want to stay to the very end. Let's begin. Let's begin with number 5. Plain water with a squeeze of lemon. The dependable starting point that costs you almost nothing. Here's the mechanism in plain English. When your blood sugar runs high, your body is actually a little dehydrated because it's trying to flush excess glucose out through your urine. Drinking enough water helps your kidneys do that job and keeps your blood from becoming concentrated with sugar. The lemon adds almost no carbohydrate, but its acidity may slow how quickly your stomach empties, which softens the rise in blood sugar after a meal. The research backs the simple stuff. A study published in Diabetes Care found that people who drank the least water had a noticeably higher risk of developing high blood sugar than those who stayed well hydrated. And research on acidic foods, like vinegar and citrus taken before meals, has repeatedly shown a gentler glucose curve afterward. Let me give you an illustrative example, a composite, not a real patient, to show how this plays out. Picture someone like Margaret, 64, who rarely drank plain water and reached for juice or soda when she was thirsty. She didn't overhaul her whole life. She simply started keeping a glass of water with lemon on the counter and drinking it before each meal. Same routine, a calmer meter, and far less of the hidden sugar she used to sip without thinking. Age matters here. After about 60, your sense of thirst naturally weakens, so older adults often walk around mildly dehydrated without ever feeling it. That makes deliberate hydration even more valuable. To start today, at almost no cost, fill a glass with water, squeeze in some fresh lemon, and drink it before each meal. And here's a synergy tip. Pair this habit with the protein timing trick we'll reach at number 1, and you multiply the benefit. But before that, there's a drink that does something water alone can't. It brings real plant compounds into the fight. That's number 4, and it's coming up next. Number 4 steps it up. Unsweetened green tea. The mechanism is fascinating and simple. Green tea is rich in natural plant compounds called catechins, especially one with a long name, EGCG. These compounds appear to slow the breakdown of carbohydrates in your gut and help your cells respond a little better to insulin, the hormone that moves sugar out of your blood. So a cup of plain green tea tends to do quiet work in the background without adding any sugar of its own. On the evidence, a 2013 meta-analysis pooling many trials, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that regular green tea consumption was linked to modest but real improvements in fasting blood sugar and in insulin response. Not a miracle, but a meaningful nudge in the right direction over time. Here's an illustrative example. Again, a composite. Imagine someone like Robert, 69, whose afternoons always ended with a sweet drink and a heavy, sluggish feeling. He swapped that afternoon sugar for 2 cups of plain, unsweetened green tea. The swap traded a spike for steadiness, and the gentle lift from the tea actually helped his energy more than the sugar ever did. The age angle is real. As we get older, our cells naturally become a little more resistant to insulin, so anything that gently improves that response earns its place. Start today for almost nothing. Buy plain green tea bags and brew a cup hot or iced. The word to hunt for is unsweetened, because bottled green teas on the shelf can hide as much sugar as a soft drink. Synergy tip: green tea and good hydration feed each other, since the tea is mostly water anyway. But if caffeine doesn't agree with you, the next option skips the buzz completely while doing something powerful for your gut. That's number 3. Number 3 is one of the most underrated drinks on this list: diluted apple cider vinegar in water. The mechanism is almost embarrassingly simple. The acetic acid in vinegar slows down how fast your stomach empties, and appears to blunt the activity of the enzymes that turn starch into sugar. The result is that the carbohydrates in your meal arrive in your blood more slowly, instead of all at once. On the research, this is one of the better studied home remedies. A study published in Diabetes Care found that vinegar taken before a meal improved insulin sensitivity and lowered the after-meal blood sugar spike in people with insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Several smaller trials have echoed the same pattern. Here's an illustrative composite example. Think of someone like Susan, 58, whose dinner reliably sent her readings climbing. She started mixing 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a large glass of water and drinking it before her evening meal. Same dinner, same kitchen, a flatter curve afterward. One honest caveat tied to age: vinegar is acidic, so always dilute it well in a full glass of water and never sip it straight, because it can be hard on tooth enamel and on a sensitive stomach, which becomes more common as we age. Start today. Mix 1 tablespoon into a tall glass of water before your largest meal. Synergy tip: vinegar before a carb-heavy meal works on the very same principle as our number 1, because number 1 takes that timing idea and gives it the strongest science of all. Let's talk about it. But first, number 2. Number 2 is, for most people with type 2 diabetes, the best all-rounder for daily energy and blood sugar: unsweetened cinnamon tea. Here's why it earns a spot. Cinnamon contains compounds that appear to mimic insulin's action and help your cells take in glucose more readily. Brewed as a simple tea, it delivers those compounds with 0 sugar and almost no calories, making it a near-perfect everyday drink. Now, let me be straight with you about the evidence, because honesty is the whole point of this channel. A meta-analysis published in the Annals of Family Medicine found that cinnamon produced a modest but statistically meaningful reduction in fasting blood sugar across several trials. So cinnamon tea is not a blood sugar cure, but that same body of research found something else clearly valuable. Cinnamon was also linked to improvements in total cholesterol and LDL, the harmful cholesterol. That matters enormously, because heart disease is the number 1 threat to people with diabetes. An illustrative composite example. Picture someone like David, 66, with type 2 diabetes and creeping cholesterol, who wanted a warm drink that wasn't loaded with sugar. He started brewing a cinnamon stick in hot water each morning. His blood sugar held steadier, and over the following months, his cholesterol numbers became a brighter spot on his lab report. Same cup, 2 jobs. The age point. After 60, both rising cholesterol and weaker blood sugar control become bigger concerns, and cinnamon's gentle help on both speaks to that. Start today. Simmer a cinnamon stick in hot water for 10 minutes, or stir a little ground cinnamon into warm water. Use the real spice, not a sugary cinnamon-flavored drink. Synergy tip: cinnamon tea is the perfect partner for number 1, because number 1 isn't really about what you pour. It's about how and when you drink it, and it's the single most powerful thing in this entire video. Stay with me, and here it is. Number 1. Not a brand, not a secret ingredient. The most powerful approach in the research is this. Drink a glass of unsweetened, high-protein liquid just before or alongside the carbohydrate part of your meal. Researchers call it a protein preload. and it's the closest thing to a free lever you have over your own blood sugar. The mechanism is beautiful once you see it. When protein hits your gut a little ahead of your carbohydrates, it triggers gut hormones that tell your stomach to empty more slowly and prompt your body to release insulin sooner and more efficiently. The result? The sugar from your meal trickles into your blood instead of flooding in. You haven't removed the carbs. You've changed the timing of how your body meets them. And the research here is the strongest on the whole list. A 2014 randomized controlled trial published in Nutrition Journal gave people a small protein drink before a high carbohydrate breakfast, and their peak blood sugar dropped by about 2.1 millimoles per liter, with average glucose over the next 3 hours meaningfully lower too, all from one modest, low-calorie preload. Here's an illustrative composite to bring it home. Imagine someone like Eleanor, 72, whose breakfast sent her blood sugar soaring every single morning. She changed nothing about her toast or her oatmeal. She simply drank a small glass of an unsweetened, high-protein drink first, 10 minutes before she ate. Same food, same kitchen. A flatter, calmer morning curve. The food didn't change. The order did. This matters most with age. After 65, that early, efficient insulin response naturally weakens. So anything that nudges your body to release insulin on time becomes more valuable. And a protein preload does exactly that. Gently and for free. Start today at almost no cost. Tomorrow morning, before your highest carb meal, drink a small glass of an unsweetened, high-protein drink. 10 minutes ahead is ideal. Alongside the meal still helps, and this is where the whole video clicks together. The hydration from number 5, the plant compounds from numbers 4 and 2, the meal-slowing power of the vinegar at number 3. All of it pays off most when you build a small protein preload into the habit. That's the synergy. That's the secret hiding in plain sight. So let's bring it all home. Number 5, water with lemon, the dependable, near-free place to start. Number 4, unsweetened green tea, with plant compounds that quietly improve insulin response. Number 3, diluted apple cider vinegar, taken before meals to slow the sugar rise. Number 2, cinnamon tea, the best all-rounder, guarding your heart while it steadies your sugar. And number 1, the real game changer, using a small protein preload before your carbs, the trick with the strongest science behind it. Here's what I most want you to carry with you. No drink reverses diabetes, but the choices you make in your own kitchen genuinely move the needle. And it is never too late to start. Whether you're 50 or 85, your body responds to better choices. Every steadier morning counts. So tell me in the comments, which one are you starting first? And what's your single biggest challenge in keeping your blood sugar steady? I read every reply, and your honesty helps the next person watching. If this helped clear away the hype and gave you something real to use, please like this video, subscribe so the research keeps finding you, and share it with someone you love who's managing diabetes too. Because managing your health isn't about one miracle. It's about one honest, doable choice repeated. And you just learned 5 of them.